next is social awareness, to be aware of the emotions of others. Sometimes people are clueless on sensitivity to others. And again, a male-female thing, I've noticed women tend to be more sensitive to the emotions of others than men, but as a mixed martial artist, it would be vital to be able to sense the emotions of the other person. They're a little aggressive, they're a little tentative, they're a little shy, they're a little off, they're a little on, they're about to, you know, explode. So if we could read the emotions of another person in a competitive environment, that makes all the difference in the world. Of course, we can practice that in our lives, and the way we practice it, by the way, is test your intuition. You can test it by, my little rule is, never trust, always test. So you say, I got a feeling that this person's mad at me. I got a feeling this person's upset. I got a feeling, and instead of just ignoring it or believing it, we actually do something in between. We always say, I'm just curious, are you okay? Or did that offend you? Or is something wrong? And if we will test our intuition, we will develop our acuity, our intuitive acuity, and we'll begin to become far better at social awareness. Now, some of us have a natural wiring that makes it easy, and some of us have a natural wiring that makes it more difficult. It doesn't matter where we start. What matters is where we end. So social awareness. Now, if you can just quickly glance at what I've just done, we're talking about awareness of self, okay, awareness of self, and then management of self, then awareness of others. All of these three are required before we can become masters of influencing others. These are all required. These are all, what do they say in school? You have to first take that course before you do that. They're what is it called? Prerequisites. Sorry, my son's the cameraman. He has to help me with things like that. Prerequisites. These three are prerequisites to step 4, which is influencing others. If I can sense myself, manage myself, sense them, I now have earned the right to be able to influence others. And we know that in competitive sports, most of the game is misdirection. I think about, I was a hockey player. I wasn't a mixed martial artist. I'm dabbling now, but I'm not a threat, but I am dabbling for fun. But as a hockey player, it didn't matter how strong you were or how fast you were. What mattered, they did matter, but what really mattered is, could you deke the other guy out? Could you misdirect them? Could you do a fake that they would think you're going one way and you go another? And to be able to think ahead of the game, to be preemptive, to be strategic, to be able to dictate how things are going, makes all the difference in the world. And so if I was a super fast skater, and by the way, I think I was, that's great, but it would be almost impossible to just simply outspeed everybody on the other team, because they come at angles and there's more than one of them. It would be impossible just by speed alone to be able to get to that net to score that goal. And the same in mixed martial arts. If a person can see a kick coming, if you telegraph your moves, if you telegraph physiologically, I remember when I was learning grappling, they said I would telegraph, they would feel the buildup of energy before I would try and make a move. And so I learned very quickly in mixed martial arts, most of it is misdirection, how to be able to misdirect and lead someone else in another direction. I'm not going to go deeper on this right now, but let me just say one more thing on it. One of the things that I've noticed some fighters do, some mixed martial artists do, is they actually try and provoke the other fighter, try and make the other person too angry, try and make the other person afraid or something like that, make the other person feel a certain way. And often they stir up emotion. I think of Frank Mir. Frank Mir just at the moment he was really provoking Cheick Kongo, and he seems to do that a bit habitually. And I'm not a fan of that, only because it's just not my style, but that's fine. It's not for me to judge, although we all judge, I understand that. My point is that sometimes we stir up energy in them that is then going to be used against us. Now, I know the goal of stirring up others' emotions is to make them feel too much energy, too much emotion, but it's dangerous. What I find to be brilliant is people like Fedor Emelianenko, Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre. I think of these three as some of the most emotionally intelligent fighters on the planet. And of course, the three are constantly looked at upon as the best pound for pound fighters on the face of the earth. They don't provoke their competition. They're actually so honorable and respectful. They diffuse the emotions of the other person. The other person almost feels bad fighting them. Not feels bad career-wise. They want to win. But it's hard to get angry at them. It's hard to want to hurt them because they're nice and honorable and respectful. You can diffuse the energy that other people feed on to be able to fight successfully in the cage by being a genuinely good person, a genuinely respectful, honoring person. Now, I understand people play to the media to sell fights, but I think it's a great idea to be honorable and respectful, and the person just has a hard time working up the kind of energy they want to have to be able to fight you. That's just one example of how to influence others, just to actually be a good guy or a good gal. And so just a quick glimpse here at at the world of competitive EQ. It starts with self-awareness, self-management, moves to social awareness, and of course, then we get to influence others. That's it for now. So this is your information source for the mental game of mixed martial arts. My name again is James McNeil. I hope that was helpful. Feel free to keep in touch with me. Let me know any questions, concerns, comments. If I can serve you in any way, I want to do it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos. Thank you. Talk soon.